guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian families collection. For today's video we're going to be unboxing these two sets here, two new families that I've added to my collection recently. One is in the Japanese packaging, as you can see here, and then over here I have my very first ever, I think, Calico Critters packaging and Calico Critter range item. On the left here we have the Cottontail rabbit family. This is a item for the 40th anniversary. They're in special outfits and it's our first time seeing their adorable triplet babies. This is for the global 40th anniversary, which carries on through 2026. The actual 40th anniversary was last year in 2025. And then over here we have the Bramble hedgehogs, or as they're known in America, or used to be known, the Pickleweed hedgehogs. These are special outfits that we've only so far seen in the Calico Critters range, but they're really, really pretty. I want to shout out Sweet Sylvanians for giving me the tip that Amazon US actually ships here to the UK and outside of the US. I didn't realise that. I haven't tried to purchase anything on there for a number of years. Back then I don't think you could, but now you can get shipping to the UK, so that was awesome. These came out in 2026 and these either came out late 2025 or early 2026, I'm not quite sure. Let's start by having a look at the Cottontail rabbits and then we'll have a look at the Brambles or Pickleweeds. So the Cottontail rabbits are one of the older rabbit families in the range. You can see they first appeared in the Japanese range in 1999 and have gone through several reiterations since, and they're still a current family in the range now. I'm not sure if there was ever a gap or whether they've been continuously available. This book is the Sylvanian Family's 40th anniversary collection book, just in case anyone's wondering. This set features the main four family members, mum, dad, brother and sister, but it also comes with the addition of these new triplet babies. I believe this is the first time we have seen triplet babies for the Cottontail rabbit family, so that's very exciting. They're very, very cute. I got this set from Amazon Japan. Taking a look at the box, this is the very standard family box packaging with the yellow kind of wood grain on top, the little ivy details and the pink on bottom. It does have the 40th anniversary logo. This is an updated one though, and it does say global just at the top there. So that's cool. Down the side, you'll be very familiar with this if you've had family packaging before. It does have the character names and some bios on the back, so we'll go through those when we're opening up and looking at each of the figures. 2026 marker here for the release date, and then bottom is just warnings and contact information, etc., and the top just has the Sylvanian Family's logo. Very long set name as well, but let's go ahead and get them open. So without the glare of the box, you can see the figures a little bit better, but let's take a closer up look at them. So first up, we have the father figure. His name is Aaron. You can see he's in this very dapper outfit. His shirt is a pale sky blue and then it's got this lovely cloud print on it. His tie has a little hot air balloon, which is really cute. He's got these nice kind of pinky brown trousers, very smart waistcoat in a very kind of stiff felt material, lovely gold buttons on that. And then he has a quite stiff, but slightly more flexible than the jacket, felt hat with a brown ribbon around it. The waistcoat comes off separately, but the top and trousers are all one piece, I believe. And then he's got his little fluffy tail just in there. Aaron's bio from the back of the box says he is very good at making coffee and he really enjoys drinking it in the garden. He's also very proud and happy to share it with everyone in the village. I did have a little look at these bios compared to the old bios that you might be familiar with if you know the family from their earlier years. So the name remains the same, this is still Aaron. But the older bio is that he was a down-to-earth and hard-working furniture maker. He takes great pride in that and in his family and his work. He's a very skilled craftsman and everyone in Sylvania can recognise his furniture because each piece looks like a work of art. So those bios don't necessarily conflict. One seems to be more about his job and one is maybe more about things he likes to do in his free time. So I think they can both live in harmony together. It's nice to get a little bit more information about him. Next up we have the mother character, and this is Sorrel. I love her dress, it's so pretty. It's this really nice kind of grassy sagey green. This lovely big brown decorative bow. It's got little elastication on the sleeves to give it a kind of puff look. It is all one piece, you can see here, and you can see on Sorrel the tail a little bit better. It then has a separate layer in the skirt, so this is kind of a nice cottony fabric. This is also a cottony fabric, but it's got a slightly more silky feel to it, presumably where it's been printed. But the print on this skirt is lovely. It's got the red roof starter home, cozy cottage, whatever you want to know it as. Lovely trees and hills and mountains, a path. A little bit of the sky, just a really pretty pattern of Sylvania. I really love the cut on this dress. It's got a real classic look to it. She also has a cute little felt hat. Hers has a red ribbon on it, but she has the addition of this lovely kind of flower, four-leaf clover, gold brooch detail. Her bio differs as well. So her box bio, using Google Translate, so this is a little bit rough, says it talks about doing laundry and that she is very good at it and she likes things to be neat and tidy. When she hangs the laundry out to dry out in the fresh air under the sky, she feels very refreshed and she enjoys singing while she's doing that. In her older bio, it talks about her being a practical mother, so that kind of remains the same, and homemaker who spends all her spare time, which is not much, decorating and improving the family's beautiful home. She is a great DIY expert. So again, whilst the bios don't conflict, I think they kind of complement each other and add a little bit more detail about what she's doing when she's not homemaking. I just think they look lovely together. It's almost like a earthy tones and sky tones. Really, really pretty. Next up we have the brother character, and his name is Gromwell. You can see he's wearing this lovely kind of pink and red ensemble. It's all one piece, as you can see here, and he's got his little tail in the back there. The shirt has lovely kind of tree prints all over it, different kinds of trees and leaves and things. He then has these nice reddy brown trousers. They're coming out a little bit more brown on camera, but they are a little bit more red toned in real life. And he has this blue kind of ribbon piece with a nice gold bead that calls back to his father's colour palette. Very cute outfit. He's looking very dapper. On his bio from the box, it talks about him being really, really good at swimming. He is very good at a competitive level. He's always competing at school in swimming competitions. He makes it look smooth and effortless, and he is just like a fish in that regard. Differs slightly to his older bio, so still Gromwell, still very energetic, but instead of swimming, it talks about him loving football and cricket. It also says that he has the untidiest bedroom in all of Sylvania, which he is always telling his mother he will tidy tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. So just changing up the sports there, but I don't see why there's any reason why he couldn't love football, cricket and swimming. If he's very energetic, he should have energy for all three. Then we have the sister character. This is Willow. Again, absolutely beautiful dress here. It's kind of two layers in the skirt again. Underneath is this very lovely kind of minty green. It's coming out a bit more blue on camera, but in real life it's kind of a minty grassy green. The overlay is this very pretty white. It looks kind of reminiscent to the pattern of her mother's, except she has a different collar. This is a more downturn collar, but she does have the same brown lovely big bow. There's cloud prints all over this, and then around the bottom there's mountains, and I think these are daffodils. Super, super pretty. I really love the print on this. Again, the bulk of the dress is this kind of nice quality cotton, and then this feels a little bit more silky, presumably where it's been printed. all one piece again, and she also has her little tail in the back there. Again, it's got the kind of elasticated puff sleeves, and then she has a very pretty ear accessory, white beads, and the same brooch as her mother, this kind of four-leaf clover or flower. And this is just kind of elasticated over her ear. Now, her bio differs the most. So on the box, it talks about how she is a polite and modest girl. She always greets everyone she meets with a refreshing and pleasant greeting. But then in her older bio, it says she was always up to something. Her father said she should have been called Wild and not Willow. Whether it's up a tree or down a hole, she's always in trouble. But all it takes is a winning smile and a peck on the cheek to get back in his good books. So I guess you could say they weren't conflicting in that one is kind of her public facing, and then with her family she's a lot more trouble, and then she puts on that public facing persona to get herself out of that trouble. But I think hers is the most conflicting of the ones I've read so far. Well, all of them really, because the triplets are new, so they won't have old bios. Speaking of the triplets, let's go ahead and get them out. So we'll go left to right. So the first up we have here is Bluebell. Just noticed mine has a little bit of a flocking defect just around the eye there, which is a shame, but hopefully not too noticeable. So Bluebell is, I believe, a little girl. They are just the standard newborn baby mould, so they aren't posable apart from the head. They have these cute little robes and hoods. So Bluebell's is this nice blue colour, cloud print on it that matches kind of her father's shirt. Lovely lacy detail around the bottom, and then in the hood it's got a little kind of point. Same pattern, same lace, little yellow ribbon on the front, and I believe it's a separate piece. So you could have it without the hoods if you wanted to, but I think she just looks so cute with the hood. So there's only the bio from the box because she's new to the family. So that says she is curious about all sorts of things, and she's recently taken to kind of touching everything to learn about the world around her. Lately, her favourite thing to do is touch her big long ears. Guess it must be kind of soothing. So that's Bluebell. These ones are really fiddly to get out, but next up in the pink we have Hannah. So the robe is exactly the same except it's in this pretty pink colour, but she still has the lovely yellow bow. Hannah loves the scent of laundry, and she also enjoys basking in the sun. So one of her favourite things to do is be outside with her mother when her mum's doing the laundry and hanging it up to dry. She's at her happiest because she can lie there, smell the laundry and bask in the sun. Very cute, and here you can see what the figure should look like without that accidental flock damage by the eye. Very, very cute. And last but by no means least, in the green we have Clover, who I think is again another little girl, so triplet of baby girls. Her robe is again exactly the same except the print differs. She has the variety of tree print just like on Cromwell's shirt. She also has the yellow bow though, and the hood is the same and everything. So Clover loves bath time. She loves being covered in soap and in the warm water. She will even doze off. She finds it so relaxing. And that completes the little family, but there were more members to this family, so let me just grab them. So there's been an older brother released recently. His name is Lyndon, but I haven't unboxed him yet, but he is there. Then we have a standing baby. This is the usual fully posable standing baby. His name is Charlie. There was also a sitting baby and a crawling baby. The boy was Comfrey and the girl was Angelica. I don't believe I have those though. And then there were also grandparents to this family, and there were a couple of versions of these. I've got some anniversary versions here, but they're also kind of normal clothes versions. This is Christopher and Carmen. I don't have an old version of the Cottontail rabbits. I only have the quite new epoch version. So doing a comparison, they look very, very similar because I think the molds are pretty much the same, being of how new these are. So unfortunately, I can't compare them to an older version of the family, but definitely a very pretty one for the collection. Really, really love the outfits. Love that they've got this kind of classic vibe, very natural vibe with the motifs on their clothing. I was umming and ahhing about whether I was going to add them to my collection because they are quite expensive. At least the UK version is quite expensive, but I got them pretty cheaply on Amazon Japan, and I put them in with another order, so the shipping wasn't as much as it could have been. So yeah, definitely glad I've added them to my family. I think the outfits are definitely worth it. But now let's take a look at the Brambles. And here we have the hedgehog family. These are an interesting one. Looking in the encyclopedia book again, they don't seem to make an appearance in the Japanese range until 2015, but I know I had a hedgehog in my childhood, so I did a bit more research, and these look like a family that were maybe developed for the UK range because they came out with Tomy in 1991. We then saw them again through the Flare range. They went through a number of iterations, and then they must have been adopted into the Japanese range in 2015, which is when we first saw them there. They were also available in the Calico Critters range quite widely. There they were called the Pickleweeds, and they had different names and different bios. So we'll go through both sets of bios. I think this is my first Calico Critters product, maybe ever, which is pretty cool. The box did get a bit squished in transit. They did just send it in like a bubble mailer. So luckily I'm not an inbox collector, so I don't really mind. And the figures themselves look fine. But taking a quick look at the box, you can see it looks very, very familiar. It's the exact same packaging with the pink and yellow. The ivy, obviously it's Calico Critters instead of Sylvanian families. And then it has both English and French on the box, presumably the French for the Canadian market. Again, it's just got a couple extra detailed stickers, but this looks the same. Nice big image on the back. No bios or family names for this one. 4 posable figures. So let's go ahead and get them open. And let's start with the dad. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I love these outfits. Pop in there 1 second. I forgot to say, these outfits at the moment, they only seem to be available in the Calico Critters range. As to whether we'll get these in the European range or the rest of the world or Japan, it's unclear at the moment. There's been a lot of changes going on in the Calico Critters range, so changing the formats of families, changing their clothes, removing things like beads and little details. I'm not sure why this family got a whole kind of complete revamp rather than just edited versions of their normal outfits like the ones we get here. But they are absolutely beautiful outfits. I don't know whether maybe we are going to get these versions everywhere else and the Calico Critters range just has them early. But let's get back to looking at the dad. If we're talking about the Bramble family, this is Mortimer. If we're talking about the Pickleweed family, this is Harold. Haven't quite decided whether I'm going to go with the Pickleweed or Bramble family name yet. I do have a mum and dad for the Bramble family, but I don't have the children. I also have a baby from the 90s. So I think I might keep them as the Pickleweeds, a nod to their Calico Critters heritage. But he's wearing these cute little... They look like denim. They aren't denim, they're kind of cotton, but they have these adorable little turn-ups, little pouch on the front with this nice clover and flower pattern. These are actually, I think, a separate piece to the shirt, which is something we really don't see a lot these days at all. They're a little bit hard to dress, these hedgehogs, because they have these big headpieces that make it a little bit difficult to take the clothes on and off. So I don't think I will undress him, but it does appear to be 2 pieces. And then he has this lovely yellow undershirt with clover patterns all over it. Nice starched white collar. And he's just looking really, really lovely. I just love this outfit. I think it's so cute. It's got a real kind of rustic, classic Sylvanian vibe while still looking quite modern. The hedgehogs look very similar to the moles. They do have whiskers and they have this lovely fluffy hair to be their prickles. So let's have a look at his 2 bios. Their hair does make them a little bit top heavy, so they're a little bit more difficult to balance standing up. If we're going with the Bramble bio, Mortimer Bramble is the Sylvanian tailor. He makes all the clothes for everyone in Sylvania. He loves sewing whilst gently rocking in his rocking chair. And if we're going with the Pickleweed bio, he runs the Cloverleaf post office and he makes sure everyone gets their mail from all their friends and family. He also plays the drums in the family band and loves creating new beats and sounds. He would play the drums all night if his wife wouldn't remind him to go to bed. So that's the dad. Then we have the mother. This is Eleanor, if we're going with the Bramble name, and Heloise if we're going with the Pickleweed. Her dress is also beautiful. It's in this really nice soft yellow colour. Looks a bit cream on camera, that's a bit better. That's more true to colour. She's got a white collar and then it's got this blue. It is printed rather than embroidered, but it does look like embroidery from a distance. She's got this lovely big blue bow, and then the skirt fabric is what I really love. It's printed, but it's these lovely floral kind of botanical patterns with some vines going down and this nice trim at the bottom. She also has this very cute flower headband going around her prickles. Just think her outfit is absolutely lovely. So Eleanor designs and makes all the special Sylvanian costumes like wedding outfits and Sunday best clothes. And if we're going with Heloise, she is the lead singer of the family's band. She comes up with all the lyrics of the songs they perform at local fairs and shows. Her voice is so beautiful that when she sings, everyone stops talking to hear her. She also enjoys cooking with ingredients from the forest, and she's famous for her mushroom pie. I really, really love that bio. That's really fun. I don't have like a kind of folk band for my village, so that would be a really good occupation for them. And her being a wonderful singer, I really like that. Then we have the brother. This is either Maxwell Bramble or Harry Pickleweed. I love his outfit. It's giving me kind of 60s, 70s vibes. It's got kind of grass green, very fluffy, soft shirt with some lace, and he's got clover prints on his collar. And then just plain yellow trousers, but I think they look really nice together. It's got very spring-like vibes. This is my first of the child-size characters, I think, for the hedgehogs. I don't think I have any others. So they're very cute. They're probably about the same height as the mole children. So Maxwell Bramble is learning how to be a tailor like his dad. He's particularly good at measuring up material, but he can't play with the needles and scissors as these can be dangerous. And then if we're talking about Harry Pickleweed, he loves playing the piano in the family band. He often composes music with cool riffs and amazing chords. He especially likes playing pop or jazz music. And if he isn't playing piano, you will find him in the great outdoors. Fishing, climbing and running are his favourite other pastimes. I'm actually really preferring the Pickleweed bios here. They really fit well in my village. I don't have a folk band, I think I mentioned. The only thing that's a bit problematic is Harold running the post office, because I already have kind of a big postal worker brigade, so I'd probably think of another job for him to do that isn't tailor but also isn't that. But otherwise, I'm really liking the idea of them being this folk band. And last but by no means least, we have Abigail Bramble, or Hayley Pickleweed. She has this beautiful dress on. I've said that a lot today. I feel like every dress we've looked at has been lovely. It's got a pink and yellow, and then it's kind of got these fruit, maybe cherries, all over the skirt. Lovely green, grassy green, mossy green bow. I like that the skirt kind of has this natural poof to it. It's got a ruffle, lovely amount of detail, and then she's got a nice white collar as well. She also has the same kind of headband as her mother, which I think just really looks very sweet with the prickles. So Abigail likes designing clothes. She's especially good at designing dresses and frocks for herself, which, if she is good, Mortimer and Eleanor will make for her. And Hayley plays the recorder and tambourine in the family's band. She's a great entertainer and dances around the stage in the middle of performances. She also likes playing outside with her brother and collects leaves, stones and acorns that she finds in the woods. So again, fitting into that band idea. And I really like the kind of natural hobbies that they have as well. Very sweet. So that's the hedgehog family out of the box. I don't have very many hedgehogs to be able to compare to. I do have the Eleanor and Mortimer that came with the brick oven bakery and the pizza delivery bike. I'm thinking these are going to be pretty similar. These are the UK versions, obviously. The colour looks slightly different, but that could be due to them just kind of being out in the box and being on display. The moulds, I think, are the same. The prickles on her hair, they might be ever so slightly longer, but I think they look pretty much the same. Both have whiskers, both have the very cute little smile. It's a shame I don't have one of the older adult hedgehogs to compare to. I do have a baby hedgehog as well. This is Bilberry. He came with the Hedgehog Hideaway, so again, he is a newer iteration of the babies. You can see he fits in perfectly with this family. He's got the kind of same hair colour, though his prickles are quite a bit bigger. I do love that about him. I think he's very, very cute. And then I mentioned having a baby Bramble hedgehog from my childhood. This is her. I believe this is Peaches. You can see they had slightly different hair back then. So this is quite coarse and it's more black and grey than it is this kind of softer brown and grey. Coloration is pretty much the same. I think she's obviously faded with age, but they are quite a bit smaller. If I compare her and Bilberry, you can see that they look quite a bit different. She's quite a bit smaller than he is. Her feet are there. And I think all of the older hedgehogs had more of this colour hair. So interesting that they changed it to be more brown. I feel like this has more of a realistic kind of hedgehog feel. It's shorter as well, but I think this is probably a little bit cuter, which might be why they've gone for it. And here's everyone we've opened today all together. I just wanted to get a shot with them all out of the box. Really happy with these new additions to my collection. I don't know why I hadn't got the full Bramble hedgehog family. They've been available for such a long time here in the UK. I just never got around to getting them, but I'm almost glad in a way because this set of outfits is absolutely beautiful. So I was really happy to be able to add them in these outfits. And then the Cottontails are a beautiful classic family anyway, and these new outfits are just lovely. Let me know what you think of these two sets down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.